What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching 90 More. Back again. It's not 90 More, is it? It's another video. We're back again, though. Make sure you are subscribed if you're new and drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen. But for now, Frog Gang, Fortification Squad, love to your mothers. Hope she's well and that you are enjoying the constant stream of content coming your way. In today's first video, we're going to be going over the latest and greatest in Arsenal transfer news. Before we kick off, let me know where you're watching from and who you think the Arsenal should be looking at. Ralstonelli certainly got some fingers being pointed at him at the moment, and the club will need investment. Is there going to be movement in the window after the coronavirus? We don't really know. There's a lot of guesswork going on, but there are familiar names being touted around, and we're going to go through the biggest stories making the headlines. We start with this news that Mesut Ozil is yet again a target for Turkish club Fenerbahce, who have actually stated that they're starting a fundraiser asking fans to donate money that they could put towards the deal. They're saying an extra 3 million euros is what they'll need from the fans if they're going to get this one over the line. And despite his supportive tweets showing that he loves the club no matter what, ... it does appear that the kind of bad blood that was surrounding the player and Unai Emery is kind of forcing its way into Arteta's reign now as well. We don't know exactly what the problem is, but the rumours of the 31-year-old being linked with the Turkish club just won't seem to go away. And you've got to think that his days at Arsenal may well be numbered. Next up, there's been lots of talk about Arsenal signing a potential replacement for Sead Kolasinac at left-back, and one of the repeatedly linked players has been PSG's Leno Kurzawa, who has surprisingly been offered a 4-year extension at PSG. Chelsea and Arsenal were both said to be in the running, but the player is very keen to extend his PSG career, although his agent has actually sent back an offer saying that he wants his player's salary doubled. Now, there's another deal on the table, which is the extension of the player's contract by 2 months until the end of August, just so that he can participate in the rest of the Champions League campaign. But even to extend his contract by another 2 months, because I was asking for his salary to be doubled compared to what he's earning now. So I'm not sure that that is actually going to happen. He's asking for a lot. Maybe he's confident that he can get it because of who his agent is. It is, of course, this man who is one of the dodgiest dealers in the game. Iranian-born, British-educated businessman Kia Joorabchian. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce that, but I just know that his name has been popping up everywhere since the likes of Tevez, Mascherano and West Ham United were involved in their dodgy bits of business. Anyhow, from one dodgy agent to the next. Next up, we've got negotiations happening right now between Henrik Mkhitaryan and Justin Kluivert's agent Mino Raiola, Roma and Arsenal, with a potential player plus cash swap deal on the cards. All parties involved seem keen, but they are haggling over 2 million euros as Roma don't see an equal swap as fair. Haggling over pennies. How surprising. Okay, next we've got Arsenal scouts monitoring this kid's situation very closely. He is Sparta Prague youngster Adam Hložek. He is 19 years old, I believe, and Thomas Rosicky, who's the club's sporting director, has said that he's a huge talent, already picking up 14 goal contributions in 33 games this season. Meanwhile, Arsenal's Guendouzi's escaped the FA charge despite throat grab. He did put his hands around Neil Maupay's throat at the end of Arsenal's defeat at the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion. However, it doesn't appear that the referee saw it, and because they've reviewed it over video, no further action is going to be taken. I do get the feeling that they're not doing anything as well, because they know that Maupay deserved some kind of suspension himself, or at least that it would have looked kind of ridiculous to give Guendouzi a suspension and not Maupay. Interesting story from David Ornstein this morning said that Arsenal's return to football was thrown into chaos when a player tested positive for COVID-19 and 2 more had been in close contact. The trio missed 3 days of training before they were cleared to train and play on the eve of the Manchester City game. All 3 of them featuring in the game, but it must have been mentally quite a challenge to get over something like that. Switching our attention to Arsenal's goalkeeper and their injury woes going from bad to worse in the game against Brighton on Saturday. Goalkeeper Bernd Leno, who's been instrumental in Arsenal not actually being in the relegation zone, has suffered an ACL injury, which we know is extremely severe at times, and he's been touted to be out for between 9 and 13 months. That is over a year, and if that was to be the case, Arsenal would not only have to rely on Argentine understudy Emi Martinez, but they also may well be tempted to go back and dip into the transfer market, because to be without a first-class goalkeeper or a first-choice goalkeeper for that long, it's a massive stretch. However, financially, Arsenal are in dire straits, and having already put themselves in a difficult position where they have no money to spend, they seem to have spent money on two injured players in Pablo Mari and Cedric Suarez, neither of whom are going to be available for quite some time, Mari especially. But that is going to reduce the coffers, reduce the war chest, as it were, to needing to sell. We'll go over the specifics of the financials, or what we know of them, in another video, but as it stands, I would presume that Aubameyang, Ozil and Lacazette will be the first names out of the door as soon as the club get the opportunity to cash in on them, simply because they're going to need to. And it's with that in mind that Arsenal are considering a move for Burnley goalkeeper Joe Hart. Gunners assessing the German's injury and could make a move for the 33-year-old goalkeeper who will leave Burnley at the end of the month. What do we think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is Joe Hart the man to transform Arsenal's fortunes? And last but not least, let's talk about Aubameyang. He's still entering the final year of his contract and hasn't put pen to paper. Will he put pen to paper? Where will he be going should Arsenal not qualify for Europe at all? Does he see his future at the London club anymore, or has it actually been decided already? And is that now leaking into the efforts and confidence that the team are running with? It's going to be very difficult to keep hold of him. That much we have to be aware of. I think most people have actually come to terms with the fact that he is going to be leaving. And just to confirm that, you need to see the kind of financial position that the club find themselves in. Let's have a look at this detailed analysis tweet here. Pre-COVID, Arsenal were projected to have around £85 million to spend in the transfer market this coming summer. Due to the virus, that has dropped to £45 million. I guess that's because of the loss that the club have been making over that period. Lack of games, lack of TV money maybe, lack of people buying merchandise, etc., whilst they are still paying everybody's wages. And then they've made the questionable decision, I would say, questionable at best, to sign two injured players. Pablo Mari, who has been signed to a full-time deal now, I believe, is not going to be able to play till November, so that's great. And Cedric Suarez is still yet to play a first-team minute of football for the club. However, both of those deals were expensive loan deals where we had to pay multiple millions of pounds just to secure their services for a period of months. And because they've not played, I guess the club feel like they now really have to get something out of them and are willing to pay more. All of that means that Arsenal, without selling, have next to nothing this summer. These stats and whatnot coming from the Guna Talk TV. It says here in this article that Atleti midfielder Thomas Partey has been described as very close to closing his transfer to Arsenal ahead of next season. I mean, I'm still waiting for Benzema to turn up, so whenever I hear very close, I start to lose interest. But other top clubs are obviously interested in Partey, who is a sensational midfielder. €50 million release clause, according to Spanish outlet Don Balón. We do seem to like signing players on 4-year contracts, which are going to end when they're about 30 or 31. However, you want the top talent and you've got to pay the money. Arteta has a big job on his hands and he's going to need backing in the transfer market. If that isn't possible or it's not going to happen, then going to be in a little bit of trouble for quite some time. So, to keep the hope alive, to keep the faith going, we will be doing transfer videos with latest and breaking news for that when the transfer headlines do pop up. For now, though, I'm going to love you and leave you. Make sure you do smash the hell out of the like button. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.